Greetings, fellow conquerors, this is darkfireslide, and welcome back to Great Britain here in EU4, where we found ourselves in a little bit of a pickle, admittedly. Thankfully, our options for expansion are not completely screwed. However, they have been severely limited due to certain circumstances that we now find ourselves in. So, we lost our alliance with Spain because of unfortunate events, namely that they attacked Austria, were idiots, and then we left the war early because we had no manpower left, and so we decided to leave. And of course, now the Spanish are encroaching upon our Canadian lands, and this simply will not do. And I believe that taking out Spain is going to become a high priority, for us. Because fighting Austria means fighting the HRE, which is just something we're not equipped to do. But now that we've talked about that, I also want to talk about, I thought about something. I uploaded a recent video where I was like, hey guys, what would you think if I, I want to get more daily uploads. And somebody was like, well, why don't you just lower the episode length, since, the internet can't really handle it. And honestly, I think that's a good idea. And we're going to try it. So this is going to be a 15-minute episode. I hope that, it's going to bother some people, I think. But hopefully, I'm hoping not enough that, you're going to leave the channel and stop enjoying the content. But this way I can actually, maintain like a daily video. Which would be really nice, especially if I want to do other games that have larger file sizes. So, let's give it a shot. For now, I think we're in a position where we just kind of want to let time pass. I'm deliberating on how we should deal with Mali, because I do want to keep expanding there. However, I am going to turn off, we're going to mothball our forts. Let's see, anywhere we should keep the forts on? I mean, Denmark, I guess. We can keep this one on. And probably this one here in Skane? Yeah. So we'll keep those two on. Otherwise, I think we can pretty safely leave the forts off. See, there's the army of Desmond. And down here we have our fleet. Yes? No? The Royal Fleet? Where is the Royal Fleet? Okay, it is here. It is here. Do we have any, let's see, any rebels in these provinces? Not really. Do we want to turn any of these into states? We do have a lot of land that we could potentially turn into states. But whether or not it's worth it is definitely questionable in a lot of these cases. Let's see. So this is not a state, though it once was. Getting 0.6 more ducats per month is definitely nice, because I do believe we have cores on some of these provinces. So turning it into a state once again seems fairly fairly easy decision here. Not really worth it here in this area in Bothnia. Did not know it was called that. So that's cool. Let's see, down here in Mali, do we want to turn Guinea into a state? Not really. We'd be losing 0.01 a month. Now I know that's not entirely accurate. Oh, we definitely turned this into a state. And it was automatically turned into a normal province. I guess we already had it cored for some reason. Oh no, we have to core it. Okay. Well, cool. Alright, so let's think about our options for expansion, now that we've kind of administrated a little bit. Obviously, fighting Sweden, whose only allies are Tver and Estonia, easy war, easy life. Fighting Pskov with the help of Lithuania is definitely a possibility. Fighting against Novgorod, definitely a possibility as well. All easy things that I could see myself doing. We are going to fabricate a claim. Actually, we already have a claim on the Spanish, I think. Yeah, so we're just going to leave them alone, because I honestly don't think we're going to be in a war with them soon enough for it to matter. Even once this truce expires, I just don't see it happening. Because we got another 3 years ahead of us, and we can declare war in another 3 years. I mean, for crying out loud, we make something like 15,000 manpower a year. So, that being said, I think attacking Novgorod is the better choice. between Novgorod and Finland, because Novgorod is allied to Finland. I think attacking Novgorod is the better choice of the two, because he has more land we can actually take. Though we do want to attack what's left of Sweden as well. Some of these nations, well, specifically Sweden, still is in coalition territory, funnily enough. As are the Austrians. Europe seems to still be fairly upset about pretty much everything we've done recently. Alright, so we're going to send another army to Africa. And I know, 5 minutes in, haven't really done anything other than talk. Unsurprisingly, Spain has rivaled us. And weirdly enough, those are our only two possible valid rivals at the moment. So that's a thing. We're that strong, apparently. We could build something like 95 more ships, but I would kind of rather not. And the reason for that is because we need to make more money so that we can build more troops. And the way we do that is we're going to build some workshops. So this one will net us 0.42 a month. You know, we've been in too many expensive wars lately. We need to focus on our economy again. Just focus on becoming rich, and you know the rest of it will fall in line. We did grab the fleet, right? Where'd it go? The Royal Navy is very it's always in that same province that I lose it to. Or same sea tile. Let's see, we have 37 transports, so taking this army down, I believe this is the Army of Scotland? No, this is the Army of France. Well, that's fitting, you know, French fighting in Mali, in Guinea specifically. We'll send the troops down. We are making, right now, 16 ducats a month, you know, which is pretty great. But we are going to continue to build more workshops and just further improve our income. Though we have been pretty diligent about building them where they're needed, as is. At the same time, I do think it's important that we keep building things where they need to be built. Do we have any good trade goods that I'm missing out on? That I don't realize that we have, that we could build factories on? I don't think so. I think we've built in almost every province that could have one. I think we've built one. A manufactory. It looks like it. We've even built a workshop on most of these as well. So I mean, we have been pretty good about, pretty diligent about this as far as it goes. Here in Saintonge, I have no idea. We could build potentially a naval equipment factory, which would net us 0.43 per month. However, for the time being, though, we don't have the money, and I think we're just going to focus on some of these smaller income provinces that just have like a ton of base development, you know, some of these French provinces, and we'll use those to kind of get our economy rolling, even though we're already at 17 ducats a month. So we could gain mercantilism, which is currently at 38%, but this will also make Oil Bucketland mad. I think Oil Bucket understands that we need mercantilism, and 17% Liberty Desire is fine. He'll be fine. He'll just, you know, he'll figure it out. We are currently working on getting an alliance with the Tuscans. I do believe they'll be a very useful ally against the Spanish, and will act as leverage because they're also allied to the Austrians, and since they're allied to the Austrians, that also means that, you know, the Austrians are going to be less likely to attack us, because that means they'd also have to fight their ally in a defensive war. So we'll be looking to ally the Tuscans for sure. We're already at, you know, 15k manpower. So do we have any claims on Mali? We don't. We don't have any claims on them. So really need to work on that. Work on getting some claims and then finish taking Guinea essentially. Now, as far as these colonies go, honestly, once we finish this one here in Mazzolo, I don't think we really need to keep building colonies. I mean, like, it's a nice idea. It's cute, but I don't really see it panning out to mean that much. Although if we turned it into a state, we could make a decent amount of money, as it were. So you know what? Actually, that's okay. These two provinces are the big ones anyway. So, but then we'll then turn our attention more to our American colonies, and I do believe a conflict with the Dutch is inevitable. However, at present, could we beat the Dutch at present? The problem is, as we discussed in the last episode, is that Saxony is allied to like 7 different people, and combined would be quite a devastating foe, honestly. It does not particularly bode well for us, I think. I guess the real question is, how many of Saxony's allies would defend him if we just, attacked today? Aw, man. Local missionary strength down, and Great Britain's opinion of Estonia goes down. Is that Estonia? Where is Estonia? Available mercenaries, Oh, there's Estonia. Hey, Estonia. I wonder if they broke free from us, or from Pskov. I'm not sure. When we were fighting Poland, I completely lost track of what was going on, and some rebels broke free. So that's on me. So how much would it be for this cathedral? Yeah, we're going to keep building workshops. In the late game, production efficiency is like everything, so... Alright, Tuscany. I do think they will accept the alliance. I think they will. It looks like it's far off, but I think we got this. We are still attempting to catch up on Diplotech. The relations with the Tuscans, actually, not as good as I thought they were going to be, unfortunately. I do think we have a pretty bad... actually, no, we don't even have that much aggressive expansion with them. So it's mostly just comes down to the fact that they're allied to Austria and they don't want multiple powerful allies. Well, I mean, I guess it's fine. Another possibility for an alliance for us would be Lubeck here. Lubeck is pretty strong, and while they would be a good expansion target, perhaps, I also think that they would be a good ally. We need to look outside our own borders for help, which is, saying a lot considering we already have, like 185,000 force limit. We do need to start another debate in Parliament. Gain 2 mercantilism. Yeah, we'll try it. Lose 2 Republican tradition, I'm okay with that. Lose Navy tradition, okay with that. 32 Diplo, 40 mil power, 20% in Orleans. Autonomy, no thanks. I guess we lose 10 prestige. Another 5 Navy tradition. Lose a little more. My goodness. We'll leave it at 52%, I guess. Not really great, but the amount of points we'd have to spend just to get it would be a little ridiculous. Oh, Lithuania, your faithful ally, is requesting you come to their aid in the Lithuanian conquest of Kulm against Novgorod, Finland, Bremen, and Pskov. Sure, I mean, it's a good thing we left the army of Desmond here. The Novgorodians and Pskovians are in for a rude awakening, I think. We'll let Lithuania handle most of the sieges. Since, he's the one who initiated the war. I don't think... Mali is allied with pretty much everyone here, which is a little silly. I always wonder how these alliance chains happen, because they never happen when I play, but... All the same, I'm pretty sure we could take on all of Africa and not have to worry about it, even with, like, attrition. I don't think it's going to be an issue. So, yeah, we'll be attacking them when the time comes as well. No point in building the spy network anymore in Novgorod, since we're now at war with them, but it's just non-stop wars, isn't it? See, we could gain Republican tradition and lose corruption at the cost of 40 of each type of monarch point, or we could lose 5 Republican tradition, gain 20 of each, and gain corruption. Honestly, I think we lose it here just to get that Republican tradition a little bit higher. I want to get it to at least like 75 before we start doing things like, you know, re-elections and stuff like that. Or more like 80, really, I guess. We're going to stack wipe that small stack from Pskov and begin sieging a province. But with that, yeah, this is going to be the end of this episode because I am going to try to switch to the 15-minute format. So I hope you enjoyed the episode as is, and I'll see you on the next one.